What's going on, y'all? It is Brian with the Content Cash Machine. During our weekly prompt, this is kind of our weekly check-in video. The goal is I am a content coach and marketing strategist. I have a marketing agency that I'm actively shutting parts down so I can actually teach people, teach business owners how to get in front of the camera and start recording their own stuff. And so that's what this is. And so every week I check in. I have a different prompt for you guys every single week when it comes to creating videos to talk about your product, service, brand, personal brand, whatever. And so that's what this is. I had to do a little bit of thinking here. And I kind of find myself a little bit distracted today. I had a couple of things go on with some video editing stuff. And so I'm kind of coming to you after trying to handle all the video editing stuff. My goal is to get you started recording by hook or by crook. I don't really care the mechanism by which you do it. I just want to get you started making your own stuff and taking advantage of what social media has to offer in terms of organic content and how it spreads organic content online. And understanding that right now, it may not feel like it because social media can be a punishing place. But really, um, you have a pretty good opportunity here, and it may not feel like it, but a lot of times these search engines and algorithms are kind of on your side, especially if you're feeding them the content that they need to sell advertising space, because that's really what it is. You create content so that social media platforms can sell ads. And I don't know if that's going to lower my engagement or whatever, but I feel like I need to be able to break that down to you guys. The reason why organic content works on social media is this allows them to sell more ads and generate more revenue. They can sell ads to major corporations and make money for themselves. So this is the opportunity that you guys are having right now. And I don't think this window is going to remain open forever. And I really got to stress that. And so those that figure out the organic content game are going to be the ones that are ahead. The ones that keep playing um, you know, these fancy, hyper polished ads are going to continue to fall behind. They're going to spend a lot of money on videography and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that it doesn't have its own use and utility, but that can't be your only approach online, especially when people are kind of conditioned to skip past things that look like advertisements. That's the world we're going into. If you think it's just your kids that skip ads when they show up on their YouTube or TikTok feeds, I got news for you. And so my goal is to get business owners recording and get people that have been thinking about it and kind of sitting on the fence, starting creating their own content so that they can start getting those bags on social media. That's what this is about. It's not about going viral. I really don't care about that. It's about making sure that you are reaching and engaging your audience and giving them good information so that they can make a good purchase decision. That's what this is about. So today's video, this is going to be why first videos are so hard for business owners. And a lot of this is going to be breaking some beliefs that people have and some opinions that they may have regarding getting in front of the camera, or even some reservations that they may have. And then I'm going to throw in this week's recording prompt, because this is not beneficial if I don't actually give you guys something to actually do. And so that's what it is. This is what your assignment is for the week. So if you're with me, if this is something you're interested in, give me a like. Let me know that you exist. Otherwise, we're going to jump right into this. Okay. Here's the thing. Most business owners do not avoid content because they lack confidence or discipline. They avoid content because they don't know what a successful first video is supposed to look like or what it's supposed to accomplish. And a lot of times when you're doing your first video, you don't get that instant feedback. So it feels like you're just yelling into a void, which is beneficial. It helps you out actually when you don't have a big, huge audience of people watching your every breath. That is a huge boon to you, because you can get the repetitions in without having to deal with a lot of the negativity that comes along with being highly visible on social media early on. Okay. So when people don't know what the job of the video is, they overthink, they rewrite, they delay, they try to optimize for something they've never done before. and they avoid the sense of feeling like they stumbled or messed up or something, because that's not a great feeling. But to me, that's the most important data point. You know, you want to know where you screwed up. You want to know if something didn't land right, so that you can get a little bit better. So this live stream is about removing the uncertainty, that 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 uncertainty, so that we can make starting and just getting started feel more manageable for you guys, because that's really what the goal is. Okay. So first, we need to clarify what business content is actually for. What purpose does it serve? And it's not much different than your other types of social media. A lot of times people go to social media, like I always tell people, people either go to YouTube to be either entertained or educated or both, or distracted. Your content can sit comfortably in that entertainment space, because you can think outside the box in terms of what content that you're actually providing for people. We were talking about it in one of my groups earlier last week, one of my networking groups. We're saying that, we have there's a carpet cleaner in there that could absolutely clean up with ASMR style cleaning videos, because he gets in there, he starts cleaning out the carpet. You just put a little GoPro in the corner, and people will watch that. I watch that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be, hey, this is me, come buy my stuff kind of videos. Sometimes just showing people what you do on the back end can help out so much. All right. But yeah, sometimes just telling people what you do as a business owner and showing them behind the scenes of your day-to-day operations can help people out so much. And a lot of times we overlook that. We think that we have to do these super complex videos with all these hooks and calls to action and all the other stuff. Sometimes it's just as simple as showing them what you do and making your logo very visible in the corner, and then down in the description put a link if they are interested in your services. But that's really what it is. And I think a lot of times when when I talk to business owners, they're like, well, I don't know what to say. you know I don't know what to say. I don't know how I'm going to come across on camera. I don't like my voice. Like, there's a lot of other things that they have churning in their brain, and really sometimes it's just simple as turn on the camera and show people what you do. And then once you get comfortable doing that, you can show them how, maybe you have a quick fix that they can do at home that they don't really need your services for. And there's a lot of times when you're in a service business, I've experienced it. There's a lot of times when you're in a service business that somebody has a problem they can solve on their own. They just don't know that they can solve it on their own. And so if you provide them that information as a free resource, when they really do run into a problem that they can't solve on their own, you're going to be the top of the mind. You've helped them out. Okay. So, um, and so content for business owners isn't just about personality or entertainment or personal branding. It exists to attract people's attention, that already have a problem that you can help solve. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, that attention is they're just bored. Like I said, I've seen a lot of social media content where it's literally just a business owner showing them baking cookies that they run a bakery. They're just showing the process of them baking cookies and what that looks like. And so you are scratching that entertainment itch or that distraction itch for that time being. Other times it's actually telling them, or telling a home cook what mistakes they're making in their home kitchen and how they can fix it. And so there's a wide breadth of video content out there that you can create that's not just come buy my stuff today, please. All right. So your first video doesn't need to really convert anybody, is what I'm trying to get at. Your first video needs to signal relevance to the right people so that they can recognize themselves in your business, if that makes sense. I'll even take you one further. Your first video so that you get the repetitions in, so that you get used to talking to camera. Your first video is practice. Your first video is practicing the idea of sitting down, talking to a camera, and posting it. That's what it is. It's getting the repetitions out there, because that's the only way you get better. A lot of times people want to shortcut and skip over the process of learning. They want to go from I turn on the camera to I'm very good on camera, and that curve doesn't normally happen for most people. You have to get used to the concept of creating content right now. Okay, so um, the idea is I want you to introduce yourself and introduce who you are and what your business is. Okay, that's what the first video is. That's the first assignment. That is your video prompt for the week. Tell the world who you are and what problem you solve. And I have a small framework to use to make it a little bit simpler for you to be able to do that and structure that video the right way. But yeah, that's really what I want. That's what this first video is. It's practice, but it also is getting used to saying basically your elevator pitch to a camera. All right. Most introductions fail because most business owners start their first videos by just introducing themselves, and then that's it. They don't really tell who they are or what their relevance is to the audience. Like I said, when I started this video, my name is Brian. I have a marketing agency that I'm actively working on shutting parts of it down so I can teach business owners how to get in front of camera and start making their own content. That's what I do. Okay. If I would have just said, hi, my name is Brian, I am not really serving the purpose of the video because, yeah, that's great to know that my name is Brian, but what else can you do for me? Why should I watch you? All right. You haven't really given people a reason to care. And so I'm still working on that piece right now. I have my stuff on social media. My audience is on social media, but I'm actually pushing this to kind of new platforms for myself. And so I'm trying to give viewers who are tuning in a reason to care. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like I said, this first video, your introductory video, is really, really just about you getting the repetitions in. Okay. So a lot of times the thing that stops the scroll is either you are breaking an expectation that they have, you're kind of subverting expectation. That's why a lot of you see a lot of creators and shoot, I'm seeing more business owners starting to do this. Well, they'll take a video meme and kind of insert themselves in the video meme. And they're kind of the punchline. It's funny. It stops the scroll. It breaks the expectation of what people are looking for. Okay. That's why that mechanism works. Because if you do the video meme kind of video where, it's funny or something that's viral and you're actually doing your version of it, that stops somebody's scroll enough to capture their attention. I know a couple of local service businesses that I work with are having tremendous success with that strategy, where you find some kind of viral video meme that's going around on Instagram or TikTok, and you duplicate it. You kind of put yourself as a stand-in, or you cut yourself in. So you show the front end of the video meme, and then you cut yourself in and insert yourself into the video, and that's a scroll stopper. And it doesn't seem like you're giving them anything valuable, but sometimes just bringing a smile to somebody's face is enough. Okay. But more times than not, when you're doing a video that is talking about what you do and what problems you solve, that's the thing that gets people to stop. What problem you solve is going to stop it, especially stop the scroll, especially if that person is looking for an answer for that problem. Okay. So here's what my role as a coach. My role is not to turn you into an influencer or content creator or anything along those lines. Okay. That's not what my goal is. My role is to give you a simple, repeatable structure that attracts clients over time and get you confident and build. Because here's the thing. More times than not, the thing that's going to make you confident is building your competence, which means you have to get the repetitions in. Oftentimes people want to shortcut the repetitions and jump right to the success frame, and that's not necessarily beneficial. The worst thing that can possibly happen is you jump into like creating content or creating videos for your business, and it's an overwhelming, resounding success, and you don't exactly know what created that success. You don't know what created the conditions for that success. You don't know what you did, and you're going to be chasing that for the rest of your life. And so you do want to get the repetitions in when there's low leverage, where nobody's looking, where there's no pressure. But it is important to create the videos and publish them. I don't want them just sitting in your video editor, because I know a lot of people, and that's why when I'm coaching this in my communities, I have a paid community, I have a free community on Facebook, and a paid version. The paid version gives you a little bit more, almost like coaching, where I'm present to actually do the coaching side and add that level of hand holding and support to help guide you through some of the harder parts. But I don't emphasize video editing on the front end, because when I emphasize video editing on the front end, that tends to discourage people, because it's hard enough to get people to create a video and post it. If they have to sit there and look at themselves before they post it, that video ain't going out. I've seen it happen too many times. Okay. And it's great to imagine yourself as this person that is so non-judgmental of yourself that you can record your first video and drop it into a video editor and edit it and post it without trying to perfect it. But more times than not, most people aren't really built to do that. You have to build the repetitions, build the reps of create video, post video, create video, post video. After we get comfortable with that flow, then we create video. Let's go take it and edit it up a little bit and then post the video. You got to be a little bit dispassionate about seeing yourself and hearing yourself on camera and on video, because you're always going to be your worst critic. So my goal isn't to build an influencer or a creator. So sometimes it means giving you something safe, clear, and useful to say on camera. And so that's what the weekly prompt is. I do the weekly prompt every Monday. And it's really designed just to get your wheels turning and get you sitting in front of a camera. I'm going to recommend a webcam or smartphone and cutting the video and posting it. All right. So, this framework is kind of designed, generalized across industries, so that we're not customizing a heck of a whole lot. And so I try to keep it as plain as possible so that you can kind of plug and play for what your individual needs are. All right. So this week's recording prompt is very simple, because I feel like I might have got ahead of myself with some of these other recording prompts. So this one is super simple. This week's video recording prompt is I exist and I help people video. That's it. I exist and I help people. That is the video that I want you to make and post on your socials this week. I exist and I help people. This is for business owners who are starting the content and need something that doesn't feel salesy or awkward. You're just having a conversation with your audience, telling them who you are and what problem you solve, period. Okay. That's what the job of the video is. It's dead simple. Okay. You're letting the right people know what the problem that you help. You're letting people know what problem you help with is and why they should keep listening. So this is your very first video. So I use a framework called the HPSA framework. Okay. Hook, point, story, action. Okay. And so I'm going to walk you through each step. If you want to write it down, you can. But this is kind of my internal framework that I use for creating videos. I use it for myself. I use it for my clients too. Okay. This framework is not about being the most interesting man or woman in the world. Okay. It's about being relevant. And you're going to use one sentence per section. This is only going to be like a 30 to 90 second video. I don't want you to have to overthink this. Okay. 60 is kind of the sweet spot I would love you guys to stay in, but I'm thinking 30 to 90 seconds works pretty well. Okay. So the hook is basically how you earn attention without talking about yourself. Okay. The hook shows the viewer that this video is about their situation and not about you in front of the camera. Even though you're introducing you, this video isn't necessarily for that. Okay. And like I said, if you want more guidance, I have my paid community. Jump in, and basically it's almost like getting a consultant on demand. And so I'll post the link if you guys are interested. Just let me know in the comments and I can post the link for that stuff. Okay. But the hook shows this video is about their situation. Okay. The hook needs to name a problem. And it needs to name a problem that your ideal customer has. I spoke with my friend Brian Gesser, who owns 531 Labs. It's another marketing agency. He does a lot of corporate work. And one of the things is I want you to, one of the early steps of launching a business is figuring out exactly who your ideal customer is. Because if you're making videos for your ideal customer, you don't have to really do a lot of thinking about what needs to be said because you know why people are coming to you and you know why you're in the market and what problem you're solving. Okay. A strong hook leads into an existing frustration instead of announcing an introduction. So I'm gonna give you a couple of examples that you can use. Okay. If you're a business owner trying to get clients on social media and it's not working, this video is for you. Okay. Um, if you know you should be posting content, but don't know what to say, this video is for you. These are really personal. This is what I'm offering. So thinking about your agency, think about your independent business and kind of plug that in. Okay. So if you have this problem and you don't know how to do X, Y, and Z, then this video is for you. That is your hook. You're basically calling out a very specific person and saying this content is created to solve your problem. Okay. The point, this is where you're going to introduce yourself with relevance. Okay. You want to introduce yourself as a solution, not as a personality. Okay. So this is where you can say your name and who you help. All right. And what you help them with in one sentence. So this is not a place to put all your credentials in. We're not going into an elaborate backstory. Okay. And so a good point is my name is blank and I help business owners use simple content to attract the right clients. So my name is Brian. I help business owners use simple content to attract the right clients. Okay. My name is Brian. I own a marketing agency that I'm shutting down because I want to teach business owners how to make content to drive business to themselves. Okay. Story. Explain why you focus on this problem. This story explains why this problem matters to you. Specifically, the reason why this matters to me is because I think there's a phenomenal opportunity on social media right now where business owners can actually take advantage of the fact that these social media companies are all about selling ads to some larger corporations and stuff. And so the way that they're going to sell those ads is to tie it into your organic content. And so they are prioritizing, giving some priority treatment to what they call UGC, which is user generated content. If you're a business owner, you can absolutely take advantage of the fact that that's what they're giving special priority to. You can jump in there and create content that these social media platforms are craving. And so it's kind of a mutually beneficial thing. And sometimes I occasionally I'll get a couple of bucks from Facebook. Sometimes it's a mutually beneficial thing in more ways than one. Not only am I getting business from clients that see me on social media, but I'm also getting revenue from the platform itself. But the benefit for business owners right now is since social media is really, really chasing down user generated content because it gives them a billboard essentially to put ads into. Why not take advantage of it? Like I said, video content is getting priority over everything. I don't care what anybody else tells you on these social media platforms. Video content is getting priority over everything. And all these social media platforms are trying to get into the video game. LinkedIn is trying to get into the video game. Substack, which used to be just newsletters, is trying to get into the video game. Okay. Instagram, they've actually angered a group of their core users because they're prioritizing video so much because videos are a delivery method for ads and they know that. And so the way that they can maximize that is if the users provide their own stuff and then they could just put the ads on top of them. That's the benefit. That's the game. I'm just giving you free game. That's free game right there. So that's why I'm focusing on this problem. That's the story behind it. I want to give you guys the tools that you need to do some of your own marketing. And then once you start building up the cash flow, then you can hire somebody to do the marketing for you, but you can hold them to this framework and hold them to, this is why we're doing the marketing. Okay. But The story should explain why this problem matters to you. It should reference a pattern you kept seeing, but it's not your entire journey. And the purpose is to signal experience without bragging about what you do. Okay. So a good story, because we've already done our hook, we've done our where yeah, making sure we've done our hook, we've done our point, um, why I'm here, and then we're going to move on to the story. Okay. And so the story is going to be, I'm trying to find my examples that I had. Sorry, I'm reading off of a teleprompter here, y'all. So an example of a story that you can get, I focus on this because I keep seeing businesses that post nonstop and still struggle to get clients. And they think that social media doesn't work for them. I focus on this because I keep seeing business owners overcomplicate a simple process, because they're comparing themselves against like these these huge creators like your Kai Snets and all of them. You're not in the same boat. You're not competing for the same clients. You don't need to use the same methodologies that they're utilizing. Okay. So action. This is your call to action. This is a marketing. This is a marketing thing. Okay. How to get the video direction without selling. This is an action step. What do you want them to do? Tells the viewer what to do if the video connects with them. This is an invitation, not a pitch. There should be no pressure and no selling language. So some examples are, if this is something that you're interested in, or another business owner that is having the same kind of struggles with creating content, or they're frustrated with their marketing, go ahead and share this video with them. Let them know, hey, there's somebody out here who can help you through this process. If it sounds familiar, I'll be talking more about this. I'm here every Monday. And so if this is something that you like or content that you find valuable, go ahead and give me a follow wherever you're seeing me. Okay. So this is how I want you to use this framework. You should use one sentence per section. The total video should be about 30 to 60 seconds. I'll give you up to 90 since it's your first video. I want you to kind of read it aloud once and kind of figure out what you're going to do and then record it. This is not something you're going to rewrite 10 times. The goal is to take advantage of momentum and speed. Okay. This is a starter video. It's not your entire brand statement. Okay. So the HPSA framework exists because most business owners, they don't start with content because they don't know what to say. And so I'm jumping past that not knowing what to say part. Okay. They think they got to be clever. They think they got to be witty. They think they got to explain everything. This HPSA framework, it removes the decision fatigue and gives you something client focused to say, to get them hooked and invested. Okay. It creates relevance without creating any additional pressure. And it kind of sets the stage for you to deliver future content. Okay. I'm not trying to get you to close the deal. All right. And so execution rules. I don't really care about having the most polished, high quality video. I want you to do this in one take. I don't want a bunch of heavy editing. And it should be posted relatively raw. Find a good light source. The best lighting you're ever going to find is sitting in front of a window that has sunlight coming in and it's hitting you in the face. Perfect lighting. That's all you need. Face the lighting, selfie camera, selfie style here, record your video. That's all you need. That's all you need. Okay. And if this is your first published video, you've already done the hardest part. So no heavy editing, and you need to post it as quickly as possible. Tag me in it, please. Please tag me in whatever video you create. Okay. Your first video's job is not to be good. It's just to get you the reps, the practice, because that's the most important thing. Getting the repetitions is hugely important. That's how you're going to build competence, by doing the thing over and over again. Your first video is to make it easier to record the second one. So I want this first video to be super low friction. If you need help, if you want hands-on help, I have my paid community. Think we're like $47 a month. It's really not that much considering the fact that you're basically getting a marketing consultant in the deal. And I don't hold anything back when I'm talking to you. I don't necessarily paywall the stuff I do. So even when I share on stream, I give you stuff that I've given clients that have paid me money. Like I don't hold stuff back from my audience. All right. Momentum comes from finishing. And I think that's really important. It doesn't come from just starting and stopping. It comes from finishing. You don't need to have perfect execution or anything along those lines. Okay. Once you publish one clear introduction, you're officially in motion. So what I'm going to do is in the comments, I'm going to copy and paste the framework I want you guys to use. So let me jump back here because I had it typed out here. For these live streams, I do a lot of improvisation, but I also do spend a lot of time on my note creating process so that I can make sure I have everything I need to say. You guys do not need to go to that level to get started out with. All right. Especially if you're just starting out with live streaming and stuff like that. I don't want you to invest a heck of a whole lot of time on that front end. So what I'm doing is right now I'm posting the framework for the video assignment this week. Your assignment is to use this framework to shoot a video to introduce yourself and post it on whatever social media platform you want. Just make sure that you tag your boy in it. That's all I'm asking. So I'm dropping that in the comments. You guys can utilize this. Ooh, that's really ugly. That's really ugly. I don't like how that looks. Yeah, it ran all my words together. So some of these look crazy on here. Yeah, that's not good. So maybe posting in the comments isn't the best delivery method. What I'll do is I'm gonna go back and edit the description of this video so that you guys can actually see what the framework is. And so I'll go back to the different platforms this is on and drop the framework in the discussion. But I'll go ahead and read it off to you. Okay. This is Hook's point story action framework, and it's supposed to get you started on your first video. And this is your introductory video talking about who you are and what problem you solve. Okay. So first point is hook. Shows the viewer the videos about their situation, and it's not about you as the business owner. Okay. The hook must name a problem your ideal customer already knows that they have. Okay. So the prompt is the words, the way that you want to phrase it is, if you are a blank dealing with blank, then this video is for you. Okay. If you're a homeowner dealing with a leaky roof, then this video is for you. You're calling out somebody specifically. Plug it in. That's your hook. That's number one. Number two is the point. This introduces you as the solution, not just as an internet personality. Okay. My name is blank, and I help with blank. Okay. My name is Brian. I help business owners create simple content to attract the right clients. Okay. The story. This is number three. Okay. This explains why you focus on this problem. So it should kind of take the form of, I focus on this because I kept seeing blank. The reason why I'm focusing on this is I focus on this because I keep seeing people post nonstop and still struggle to get clients. I focus on this because I keep seeing business owners overcomplicate something that should be really, really simple. Okay. 4, this is your action step. This is called the call to action. You want to tell the viewer what to do next. All right. So it's basically giving a simple instruction for them. So if this is something you're dealing with, blank. So if you are a business owner who has struggled figuring out how to create content for social media, then why don't you go ahead and give me a follow, because that's what I talk about on this channel. All right. And, If you're interested, I do have free communities, I have paid communities, but I'd just rather have you follow first and figure out if that's what you want to participate in. Okay. So if it sounds familiar, if it sounds like something that's plaguing you, just follow along on the channel, and maybe one day we could do business together. We'll see. Not selling anything. It's totally optional for them if they want to engage at that point, but I'm leaving the door open for myself. Okay. So how I want you to utilize this HPSA framework: hook, point, story, action. Okay. One sentence per section. 30 to 60 seconds is preferred. Up to 90 seconds will allow. Read it once or twice and then record it. And don't rewrite it 1,000 times before you repost it. And the bonus step is tag me in it so that I can give you some props for taking that first step, because taking that first step is more important than anything else. More times than not, people never take the first step. They just keep trying to plan and plan and plan and plan, and they never launch the thing. The thing never manifests. It never becomes tangible. Okay? So that's what I have, y'all. I do appreciate y'all's time. Again, this is the weekly prompt, the HPSA framework. Really, I just want to get you guys started recording. I'm saying all that to say this. The opportunity is there. Social media platforms are prioritizing video content. Why not you take advantage of it to drive business to yourself? All these other corporations are doing it. Why not you? And you don't have to show up with a polished ad. You don't need to pay thousands of dollars for a videographer yet. You don't need to do any of that stuff. You just need to show up and tell people who you are and what problem you solve. Okay. We'll figure the rest out later on. My name is Brian. And really, I want to get y'all recording. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.